Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is very unplanned. It's basically inspired by something I saw on Instagram over the weekend, and yeah, it's going to be really off the cuff, so it might not be the most articulate of videos, not that mine ever are, but just bear with me because I think it's actually a really important topic. So if you follow kind of horsey accounts on Instagram, you may have seen that there was a video kind of doing the rounds of a clip from a cross-country clinic, and the rider, the instructor hosting it, is a very well kind of regarded rider in the eventing space. He has like numerous accolades. He's actually retired at the moment, but I think, you know, he was very well regarded in eventing circles. And yeah, so basically the clip, I'm not actually going to insert it into this video because I don't know what way it'll all pan out, and just in case it has to be taken down, I don't want this video to be taken down or anything. But I think Epona have put it up on their channel, so I will link that below for anyone who actually wants to see the video as a reference point. It is, I'm going to say there's a, you know, trigger warning that it does kind of show like horse abuse. Yeah, I'm just going to call it horse abuse because like, to me that's what it is. So basically, and another trigger warning, I'm about to describe what happens in the video. So the video shows kind of the girl at a cross-country clinic who I presume the horse is young. I'm actually not too sure. I don't follow this account. I don't really know too much about the horse, but you see the horse kind of going down into a bank full of water. Or they're on a bank and they're going to go down into water, and the horse starts to kind of shy away, back away, refuse, and yeah, so then this rider, this professional rider who's hosting the clinic, comes up behind the horse and hits his back end with a branch up to 10 times before the horse eventually, after being quite stressed and even the rider getting quite stressed, the horse eventually does go into the water, and then onlookers cheer. So from my perspective, like, there's kind of three things about the video that's disturbing. The first being that this person is very well regarded in the eventing sport. They have numerous accolades, numerous medals, like they've represented, to be honest, I don't really follow eventing, so I don't know, but they are very well regarded. They have their own kind of, I know they have their own kind of equestrian kind of clothing wear and rugs and stuff. I know that he you know, he's a very well known figure in the eventing sport. So it is a bit disheartening to see that that is the kind of training methodology someone at that level uses, because I wouldn't describe it as a kind of a training method. I would describe it as brute force. And I just think that, you know, it's just disappointing to see that you would expect someone at that level to have kind of really thorough, proper kind of methodologies in place to train horses, and there should have been kind of better instruction for the rider who was attending this clinic, who I'm presuming paid good money to attend this clinic, rather than I'm just going to beat the horse with a branch until it does what I want, because that isn't really a training method. So the second thing I find kind of disturbing about this video is the cheering from the crowd. Now, I don't know, you don't see in the video how many people there are there, or how many onlookers there are, but I do know that once the horse enters the water, there's cheering from the crowd, which kind of, and I think this kind of surmises a lot of issues with the kind of horse industry, that this sort of treatment of horses is just kind of considered the norm. It's like if someone did this to a dog, it would be completely different kind of, you know, completely different reaction. No one would be cheering. So like, I don't know why there's this kind of double standards that exist for, you know, if it was a dog, a cat, a goat, a goose, anything, like it would have been like, people would have been horrified, but yet it's a horse and people are cheering when it kind of eventually gives in to this kind of brute force and complies. People are cheering, and it's just, yeah, it's a bit disturbing, actually. It is disturbing. And I understand it comes from a place of people, I'm just going to say, like, kind of lack of education, or people just aren't aware that actually horses do feel these things. The horse was stressed. The horse wasn't out to defy the rider or to, you know, make anyone look silly. They were just stressed. And really, like, it actually looks from the video that the horse wasn't being naughty. He was actually like looking at the water, and I think really it would have just been so lovely to see if a patient approach had been taken, and to not have the horse kind of over threshold. So the third thing I kind of think about this video is the blatant disregard for safety. I think that when you're sitting on a half-ton flight animal, no one should be hitting that animal with a stick. I just kind of think that, you know, and I don't know, this girl obviously is a good rider and everything, but I still think that by hitting an animal that someone is sitting on with a stick, you're actually kind of disregarding their safety and kind of taking a risk with their safety. So that's kind of another point I would kind of think about this. I just think it was really poor horsemanship. It was really poor training, and it's disappointing to see someone at that level treat horses like this. Someone who's had a very successful career off the back of horses, it's very disappointing to see this being how they go about kind of training horses and how they go about interacting with horses is very, very disappointing. Which does kind of lead me on to like my next point is, you know, away from this video, I personally find myself kind of like I don't have a place in the horse world, almost because it's like if you have a horse, it's like you need to compete with them, you need to do dressage, you need to do show jumping, you need to do eventing, and I can't condone that kind of thing. Like I would, if that happened to me, and to be honest, I have been in circumstances where I've been having a lesson and the way my horse has been treated doesn't sit right with me, and typically then I will not have a lesson with that person again. It makes me nervous to get lessons with people because I'm afraid that I will end up in a situation where my horse is treated like that. And I think this particular girl said that at the time this happened, she was young, and she didn't kind of feel comfortable sort of standing up to this professional, because she felt like kind of like, oh, what do I know? And there is an element of that. There is an element of kind of thinking, oh, these people know better, but actually they don't. There's no kind of guidelines for equestrian sports, like considering that the backbone of these sports is the training of the horse. There is actually no kind of standards in terms of how these horses are trained. Trainers rarely know about kind of learning theory. In the BHS, I'm pretty sure it's not on the kind of the modules or the courses, or like it's not in there. And it's just kind of like, well, I think we need to do better. I think we need to start kind of incorporating these and making sure that, you know, we are using these animals for our pleasure, but we need to make it as enjoyable for the animals as possible, and that involves kind of learning a bit and kind of, I want everyone to ride horses. I love that, you know, I love the community, and I want there to be kind of positive change for the welfare of horses, and I just kind of think that sometimes it's too much about the kind of what's achieved and not enough about the how's it achieved, and I think the how needs to become as important as the what. And that kind of, it does make me feel like I don't have a place, because I can't I won't compete. I won't train my horse in a very kind of positive way, and I want it to be kind of using knowledge as opposed to brute force. But I just sort of feel like I don't fit in then in kind of these eventing, show jumping, dressage circles, because I refuse to work like that. So yeah, I suppose it would just be interesting to kind of see what other people's thoughts on it are. I honestly can't see any real justification for that behaviour at all. Like, the horse wasn't being naughty, he was just looking at the water. I think a bit of patience there would have made the world a difference for the horse and the rider. I can't imagine she had a great day after that. Like, even I know personally, if that happened to me, no matter what had happened after that, like whether we jumped clear or, you know, did amazing dressage after that, like that would just ruin the day for me. So I'd be interested to see what everyone else's thoughts on it are, and to see if what they make of it. Like, because I think really, like, it's just really disappointing to see someone at that level treat horses like that, because then you kind of wonder, was all the achievements that they achieved, was it through that kind of training? And chances are it probably was. And then it's like, okay, well, do we want to be trying to strive for that? I don't, because I don't. I mean, if that's what it takes to get to the top, then I'll stay at the bottom. But yeah, like, I just thought it would be interesting to get a little bit of a debate going, and maybe some kind of constructive feedback, or just kind of constructive thoughts on the whole situation. Or like, if you are the same as me and you are a complete empath and want to do everything in an ethical, kind of consultative manner with your horse, then maybe you might relate to my feelings of feeling a little bit kind of like on the outside. And yeah, that's all I have to say. But yeah, this wasn't like a planned video or anything. I just kind of wanted to say something after I saw it, because it did kind of get me thinking. And I really hope that there are changes coming. But we'll wait and see. I don't believe at this point the FEI have made a statement on this. But I'll update that below if they have. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, and it'd be interesting to hear your thoughts if you do have any. And I'll catch you in my next one. Bye.